Hey everyone, JCS StarCraft here, bringing you Game 4 of the semifinals match between Tarson and Idra on the IEM Season V Championships. And right now, action getting started here on the Delta Quadrant. Idra spawning, playing as MYM Sunny, but this is Idra, folks, spawning as the Red Zerg in the northwest position, and Tarson spawning in the southeast position as the Blue Terran. So right now the series, Idra is up 2-1. This is a best of 5, so if Idra wins this one, he will move on to the finals. The cash prize for first place in the finals, I think, is $5,000, so a huge cash prize, the biggest cash purse in StarCraft 2 since the launch. So one of the bigger events right now, and this has really been a really great championships. All the players just showing their top form in preparing for this. In the previous 3 games, Idra has opted for that early gas, not going with an expansion. We might see a strategy change here on this particular map, Delta Quadrant, because, you know, this is a 4-player map, so he might have some more time to figure out to get things ready. But it did cost him in the second game when he decided not to go for, he kind of delayed his speedlings. And looking at Tarson right now, going to be getting that 12 racks, 13 refinery going down. Is it? No, the refinery isn't going down yet, and there it goes. Okay, so getting the refinery for Tarson, so going with the standard build. Thought maybe he's going to resort to some sort of all-marine attack, which might actually work against Idra. Idra doesn't really like it when players cheese against them. That's when we start seeing Idra's colorful language and timing going down. Going to be getting that speed upgrade as soon as possible. So Idra not really changing his play. It's worked for him so far in each of these games. He has really great micro control of his lings, and if he can establish going into the mid to late games where Idra is the most comfortable, as he has a really, Idra pretty much known for his ability to mass up and outmass his opponents. Tarson now looks like he's going to be going with the 1-1-1 again. So factory going to be going down here as soon as he gets the 100 gas, and going to be trying to choke off the front of his area. Tarson in the last game was contained by Idra in his base, wasn't able to really move out, and unfortunately went for Thors as his anti-air, but Idra just massed Mutalisk to counter those Thors, and once the Thors went down, there wasn't that much more. Oh, this SCV just kind of caught a little bit off guard sitting here, unfortunately for Tarson. Throwing down his factory, getting his factory as soon as that 100 gas goes up, and this time that drone wasn't able to get in. The second extractor won't be blocked, so we'll see if that shifts Tarson's strategy. Tarson in the last game really just trying to push for a mass Hellion harass in the beginning. Did a good job, was able to take out a few queens, but unfortunately not able to do as much damage as he wanted to the economy of Idra. Idra now getting his expansion, get at his natural, and speed is definitely being researched by Idra this game. So it doesn't want to get caught off guard like in game 2. More Marines coming out onto the field. Just not gonna go for that. I think that was the reactor going down. So just gonna be pumping out right now. And starport, yeah, starport this game. Last game there was no starport for Tarson, so he didn't have any anti-air units. I think it might have been a very different game had he just a few Vikings in the air. He might have been able to counter the Mutalisk early on and also hold out during the middle. So right now, action going to be going down. A handful of Marines out here. The Speedlings are going to try to get the surround on them, and this Hellion going to try to help out the Marines. Is it going to be enough though? There's just a ton of Lings out in the field. Perfect surround on that Hellion, unable to make it run. Tarson unable to really micro the units because of those surrounds. Very, very critical for Idra to run in and get it around. So, you know, I think a lot of Zerg players can, just watching the micro of Idra, not really attacking with these units, but just running them along until they have gained enough distance on them, and then popping that surround in. One of the things that make the Terran ball so deadly is its ability to hit and run. Once both Hellions and Marines, Marauders, once they're stimmed, it's really trying to hit and run. So having the room and the space, which on this map the Tarson does have, but Idra going to be trying to deny that as much as possible. Tarson getting that Banshee, and looks like Cloak is being researched, so Gonna try to get out there and do some damage with those. There are enough queens out on the field right now, and from the looks of it, I'd assume, yeah, already upgrading to the hive, or is the hive or lair? Lair. Sorry, I'm sorry. Lair. I always get the two confused. I'm not sure why. Might be my slight form of dyslexia kicking in. So the Hellions here right now trying to do as much damage as possible. Going to have a pretty difficult time. This queen going to try to hold off and block off on this ramp. The Lings are here right now to serve that purpose. Banshee now coming in, and is there an Overseer being researched? The Spire is going down. Banshee now coming down, gonna try to challenge this queen. Might win the battle between the queen. The second queen is coming out though. This Banshee might go down. Is able to take out that queen, and the Hellions were finished off by the Lings right now. Banshee is gonna be waiting for, trying to do some damage, waiting for that cloak to kick in, and Overseer, where are you, Overseer? And there it is by Idra. I'm sorry, I just missed that. Knew it was there somewhere. This poor little Hellion getting stuck between him and the buildings, just facing that sea of Zerglings. Now this Banshee coming in for repair, as the second Banshee is going to push out. Don't know if this Banshee strategy is going to work, as the Mutalisks, I assume, are going to be popping out pretty soon. The Spire currently being built by Idra. And Hellions coming in here to try to do some more harass. I don't think this is going to be enough. Tarson right now is behind. Looking at the income tab, he is even, but Idra is going to pull ahead very, very soon. I like how Tarson in this game is opting for more Marines, as I think he is figuring that his opponent is going Mutiling yet again. And once those Mutalisks are up in the air, this time he will have a starport to counter. Might be a good idea at this point to abandon the Banshees. Looks like he's going to just be roaming out with the factory, using it as a scout. Back to the action. The Banshees are here. Where did that Overseer go? Unless it was taken down somehow by... That's weird. Anyway, so the Overseer here it is. Idra finally brings that Overseer in. These Banshees are pretty much done. They're going to get toasted by the Mutalisks, and every ground force is getting toasted by the Mutalisks as well. So Tarson, unfortunately, caught in a very bad spot. This factory is going to go down as well, and really needs the Vikings. Where are you, Vikings? Going to be throwing down a bunch of Raxes, but again, not going to be enough. Idra doesn't even bother with the factory. Just going to run in and do as much damage as he can before Tarson can really retaliate. Unfortunately for Tarson, the Banshees almost did no damage whatsoever. He took out one queen, but not really worth the resources. And now just in a whole heap of trouble. Is anything coming out? Just Marines with stim. Tarson might be able to hold off this attack. Idra doing a great job right now, just kind of kiting this, trying to group up his Mutalisks and just kind of kite this factory so that he doesn't get hit very much by the missile turrets, but still able to deal damage to it. And just massing Mutalisks at this point. He knows his opponent is caught off guard, doesn't have a response to these Mutalisks. Tarson just trying to pump out as many Marines as possible to counteract, but the way that they're streaming out, unfortunately, and this factory is just going to fall. Poor little factory, burning away. Is it going to be repaired in time? Great job microing by Idra, pulling that and able to take down the missile turret. More Mutalisks on the way for Idra. Are there enough Marines right now to really challenge? There is a bunker down for Tarson. Idra wants to take out this barracks with the reactor as much as possible, as these are pumping out as many Marines for Tarson. Down goes that factory. Oh, that was a really cool explosion. I haven't seen the factory explode in the base, in the air before. Trying to repair this Rax. It's going to fall down. The SCV goes down as well. Tarson in a lot of trouble. Finally, a medvac coming out for Tarson. Where are those Vikings? He really needs Vikings against this Mutalisk army. How many Marines does he have on the field right now? Idra up significantly, 77, 75 or 52. Has enough Mutalisks that single missile turrets aren't going to do anything. Poking around at the outside, the perimeter of the base, and just more Mutalisks on the way for Idra. Things looking very, very, very bad for Tarson at this point. Trying to kite his Marines, but just doesn't have enough. And the medvac is just medevac's gonna fall down to the end. Great job by Idra, catching his opponent off guard again. I don't really agree with the fact that Tarson went with that Banshee. Really hasn't had that much success with the Banshees, unfortunately, and Idra took advantage of that, saw the Banshees, and just said, well, hey, you know what? If he's going to be building Banshees, I'm just going to mass up on my Mutalisks, and here come the ground forces as well to reinforce, to take out the missile turrets, and this is going to be a GG. Well played from Tarson. Idra just, really kind of predicting what his opponent would do and reacting with the proper units this time. Wins it 3-1. Idra will be moving on to the finals of the IEM Season 5. The other matchup going in right now is Moro versus Damaga, I think. So really interesting to see who will be making the finals and who's going to be battling out for third. The finals are going to happen on Sunday, which I will try to shoutcast. This has been JCS StarCraft. Very great game played by both players, and I am signing off.